So welcome back to the channel, guys. This is the Ninch movies, and I'm a couple days late on this, but we have our episode 6 review of Futurama, this one being entitled Attack of the Clones. Obviously a Star Wars reference there, and this episode actually has a couple of movie references in it. Some really good ones featuring like The Wizard of Oz, there's a reference to that. There's the Planet of the Apes. Overall, once again, we're just steadily improving, and I fucking love it. I'm so thankful. I got a comment on one of the recent reviews, and since this season has steadily been progressing, it really shows how poor season 11 was, which, now that I think about it, yes, we had one poor episode this season, but the ending to season 11 really was kind of piss poor. But let's quickly go over the episode and some of the notes I jotted down. So first of all, it started off with an All My Circuits episode at the start. And, I love when Futurama does its little cutaways to its TV shows like Hypnotoad and All My Circuits. It always feels classic that way. There's also a gag. One of my favorite old school gags is the Fing Longer. And they do a toe longer gag in this, which, I'm always happy to see it. And this is an episode that in the season 12 trailer, when that dropped, there was a Frankenstein-esque episode that was coming out, and that is this episode today. So basically, the professor is, it's one of those episodes where he's going up against Wernstrom, and they're going to do a science project. Basically, he creates a Frankenstein's monster, and the head on the Frankenstein monster is actually Cara Delevingne. And there's a quote that Fry says where she's the model that invented eyebrows. I fucking love that quote because it is so true, because obviously her eyebrows are a jarring look. Obviously, I know her from movies like Suicide Squad, unfortunately. So basically, we also have, I love the gag where Zoidberg calls a nose a sneeze hole. Something different there. We also have, once again, like I said, Wernstrom beef returns, which I always love. Any sort of science episode. This is a heavily Professor Fansworth based episode, which I think in the last episode review I mentioned, one of my personal favorite characters. I have seen a couple of reviewers come out here and say that they don't really find Farnsworth funny. I think y'all are crazy, because honestly, one of my favorite characters. Basically, what ends up happening in this episode is Farnsworth does not win the science project. Wernstrom gets it, and instead of taking it on the chin, what happens is Frankenstein's monster, he actually creates a clothing for it, and that's what becomes really big. And then this becomes a whole sort of like Met Gala type episode, really. Professor Fansworth becomes a fashion designer, and it is so goddamn funny. It really does, it's tongue-in-cheek and pokes fun at, all these sort of pointless Met Gala type events. I'm personally not into that type of thing, and I like the humor poking fun at it. Zoidberg basically triggers the professor after becoming famous to make an everyday sort of clothing line, because he couldn't get into the Met Gala type event. He decides to, what you think is, commit suicide, but really he's just going underwater where people won't judge him for his clothes, but he's not welcome there either. So it's a high fashion based episode, basically talking about waste of high fashion. The product that Farnsworth puts out, you can only wear it once, and then you throw it into this wormhole and it's just done. Basically, that's sort of the gist of the episode. I'm sort of all over the joint just looking at my notes. I thought it was a really fun episode. Following up the last episode, episode 5, I said was the best of the season. I still probably would say that is my favorite, but this is a close second, steadily just going up. I thought the jokes were 10 out of 10 here. It felt like a classic episode. I love any sort of sciencey based episode. Anything to do with the professor is just really creative. I think this is where Futurama shines. And I do apologize that I am a couple of days late and I'm coming in a little bit raggedy just after work. But I would highly implore you to check out episode 6, Attack of the Clones. One of the best of the season thus far, and really shining a poor light on season 11 now that I think about it. But I did just want to say to you guys as well, I'm so excited to tell you that next week, as long as everything comes in on time, I'm going to have a mass VHS unboxing. I'm so excited. I'm just going to say that I picked up some horror titles since I've been struggling to find them out in the wild. Honestly, I haven't actually ordered videos since probably February when I first got my player. Everything else has just been from op shops, so definitely look forward to that if you guys are horror fans. And unboxings are some of my favorite videos to watch, so I'm keen to get something out there that's a little different, that isn't a VHS update. So look forward to that next week. Yeah, pretty much that's the video, guys. Leave it a like, add it to your favorites, subscribe. Let me know if you've seen the episode down below, and I'll see you guys very soon. Scoop!